G'day everybody, welcome to the March tasting videos. We've got three amazing rye products to look at. The first one we're going to be looking at is the High West Whiskey Double Rye. So the High West Whiskey Double Rye, called Double Rye for a very good reason, because it is a blend of two straight rye whiskies. It comes from the High West Distillery, and one of the distilleries we talked about last month, the MGP bulk distillery there in Indiana. So they blend two straight ryes together, and that's what gives us the double rye. So the double rye comes in at 46% alcohol by volume. It's a blend of two straight rye whiskies, and because they're straight rye whiskies, we know they're aged for at least 2 years each, and it's probably 2 to 7 years depending on it. So the mash bill, it's a blend of 95% rye, 5% barley from MGP, and an 80% rye and 20% malted rye from High West. They don't tell us the actual ratios of the blending, but they've stated in the past that the High West portion of that blend will never be over 50%. It'll always be the minority blend. Now, prior to 2018, the High West Double Rye was a blend of that MGP distillate we were talking about, but also a 16-year-old rye from Barton's. However, from 2018 onwards, they started blending in their own distillate that is distilled at the High West Distillery in Utah. So it has a much younger age statement, and that has impacted the profile. That original double rye was just an incredible bargain, amazing double rye. It's probably lost a little bit going to the younger rye that they're distilling there at High West Distilleries, but look, it's still a terrific rye with a very unique profile, taste profile, because of the double rye blending with it. All right, so why don't we have a taste? It's a really unique nose for a rye. It's not your typical rye nose on it. You get a bit of hay and pine, a touch of oak, and then there's a bit of spice. It is in that typical rye spice, but it's not as strong as what you might imagine. It does play off well. It's an odd combination, but I'll tell you what, it's not a bad thing. It's just different. So you get an interesting palate with it. It's on the lighter side of the spectrum, but you definitely get that rye peppery spice coming through on it. So sweet vanilla, oak coming through, and then you've got that more prominent rye spice, which is definitely present in that palate. Now on the finish, you get a flash of sweet rye spice in there, and that's followed by some touches of vanilla, and the oak comes through, and then that simmering heat is present there, and it's joined by the drier oak notes and that peppery rye sort of finish. So it's a medium in length. The finish sort of goes down the same path the palate did. It presents a really good, not exceptional, but really good way to end your sip of the High West Double Rye. So I hope you're enjoying it, and you're enjoying your journey with Bourbon Brothers. So the High West Whiskey Double... Whiskey? Oh, I guess I'm whiskey. Oh, hilarious. All right.